On the news this morning, Northern governors oppose power shift to South. Rivers State Executive Council approves 25 billion naira loan request by state government to fund projects. A social political pressure group says lack of transparency depriving Rivers State government from accessing grants from international agencies, federal government. Guild of Editors worry over high level of secrecy by government agencies. On the foreign scene, R. Kelly found guilty in sex trafficking trial. I am Ifiemi Andrew. Governors of the 19 states in the north have opposed the call by their southern counterparts that the presidency should be zoned to the south in 2023. This was part of the resolutions reached on Monday at an emergency meeting held with traditional rulers in the region at the Government House in Kaduna State. Chairman of the forum and Governor of Plateau State, Simon Lalong, read out the communique containing the resolutions on behalf of his colleagues.
The forum unanimously condemned the statement by the Southern Governors Forum that the presidency must go to the south. The statement is quite contradictory with the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended that the elected president shall A. score the majority votes, B. score at least 25% of the votes cast in 2/3 states of the Federation, C. in the case of run-up, simple majority will win the election.
He also briefed reporters on the position of governors regarding the lingering dispute between the federal government and states over the collection of VAT.
The Northern State Governors Forum considered the ongoing national debate on collection of value-added tax VAT as responsible leaders. While we are concerned by the fact that the matter is sub judice, we, however, for the purposes of educating the public, make the following observations. A. The judgment of the Federal High Court calls to question the constitutionality of VAT and many other currently levied and collected by the federal government of Nigeria and the Federal Inland Revenue Service. VAT is being confused by these state governments as a sales tax. If every state enacted its own VAT law, multiple taxation will result in increase of prices of goods and services and collapse in interstate trade.
Rivers State Executive Council has approved 25 billion naira loan request for the funding of some new and ongoing projects. Briefing journalists shortly after council meeting on Monday, the Commissioner for Information and Communication, Pauline Sinsirim, said the loan will be repaid within 18 months from the internally generated revenue of the state.
This loan has a repayment period of 18 months with effect from October 2021 and to be completed in April 2023 from the state's internally generated revenue. The repayment period is 1,547,874,350 naira 66 kobo monthly. Of course, this administration under His Excellency has an avowed commitment to ensure that all projects that are initiated by this government are completed before the tenure will end in 2023.
He also listed the projects that will be funded with the loan.
For the funding of the following projects: the Dr. Nabo Graham Douglas SAN campus of the Nigerian Law School, the Chokocho Ibodo Road in Eche local government area, the Oyibo Afam Road in Oyibo local government area, the construction of new magistrate courts, the construction of the Judicial Institute for the training of judicial officers in the state that will enhance justice delivery, and of course the Romo Krushi Elimu flyover, which will be the 10th flyover that will be constructed by this administration.
Also, the Commissioner for Works, Eloka Tassi Amadi, spoke on why the state should access the loan.
A loan of 25 billion was approved today to be paid back in 18 months before the end of the tenure of this administration. The loan was deemed necessary because if you consider all the projects intended to be funded by these loans, for instance, the Oyibo Afam Road or the 27-kilometer Chokocho Ibodo Road, these projects have a construction time, which means that it's very important we commence the project immediately and take advantage of the oncoming dry season as well. We also have considered the inflationary trend in the country and the fact that we don't know what the prices of these projects will become if we take much longer to activate them.
Correspondent Emeka Otuka reports that the meeting was presided over by Governor Nyesom Wike. A social political pressure group, Network for Defense of Democracy and Good Governance (NDDGG), says lack of transparency in the fiscal policy is depriving the state government from accessing grants from international agencies and the federal government. The leader of the NDDGG, Ambassador Sobomabo Jakrich, said this at an event held by the group in Usokundegama local government area. He said the figures given by the state government in its 2021 budget is different from what is on its official website.
We have found out that the construction of GRA flyover bridge and the expansion of a single layout gives us 1.something billion. But the 50 billion is what the mention of construction of Rumomba flyover is 1.5 billion. And that's 7 billion as security said, artillery, garrison, they are 21 billion. But the truth is, only artillery is 1.5 billion. That means for the 3 flyovers, maximum 6 to 7 billion. The construction of Ikoku bridge is 1.5 billion. But the government announced Ikoku and Waterlines jointly 12.4 billion. And I challenge the Riversman to visit the state website www.riverstates.gov.ng to go and verify.
Sobomabo Jakrich, who is also the leader of Kengema Unity Forum, called on the state government to urgently fix the Emoha-Kalabari Road as it has become a death trap.
The problem we have here is the old people that are at the ends of affairs, they politicize everything. This is a security matter. It needs a collective hand. But I will not cry more than the bereaved. Even as much as we wanted this project so badly, I wouldn't want to get involved where I'm not invited to be embarrassed. This is not time to play politics. This is time to ensure that the people should be released and unarmed so that the project can go on. For recently, the local government chairman of Apukutoro, he came to my house. He has not visited me over 5 years. He visited me because he was interested in just the joint council election. There's something as sensitive as this. As a stakeholder, none of them have put a call across to me. Nobody at all.
On his part, Director of Operations NDDGG Williams Igwe called on the Rivers State government to address the issues of flooding and decentralize the state.
We cannot continue to have a one-city state. In a state that has so much resources to develop at least 10 to 15 cities, and yet everybody every day must run to Port Harcourt or therefore. It's unacceptable. You build all the bridges to decongest Port Harcourt. But is it working? It's not working. Instead, flooding is taking place. I begin to wonder, are we sure that what's going on is not one local company that went and hired the WA equipment and manned on the road that they are building roads for us? Why should you have so much flood on roads that were built by the Las Vegas?
Our correspondent reports that Mr. Igwe said the group and its sister organization, the KUF, will pay a solidarity visit to their leader to pledge their unalloyed support despite media persecution. The Nigerian Guild of Editors is concerned about the high level of secrecy by government agencies on public information. The NGE, in a statement on Monday by its president Mustafa Issa and General Secretary Iyobosa Uwugiare to mark the 2021 International Day for Universal Access to Information, said the secrecy has made access to information in the country very difficult. The editors, while accusing federal government agencies and ministries of not living up to the obligations imposed on them by the Freedom of Information Act, expressed sadness over their deliberate attempt to always frustrate information seekers. The statement called for sanctions on government agencies in order to make public institutions and official act in accordance with their obligations under the FOI Act. The chairman of Ikore local government area, Samuel Wanosike, has flagged off the construction of Ikore Council Chapel and commissioned a 300 kVA power generating plant. The event is part of the week-long activities to mark 100 days in office of his second term. Speaking at the event, Mr. Wanosike said the country needs a leader like Governor Nyesom Wike to provide leadership.
This one is managing the resources for the betterment of the people of Rivers State. His urban renewal is exceptional. Nyesom Wike is not only building physical structures, he's not only rebuilding the rivers structures, it's also rebuilding the mentality of the rivers man. But I also try to make a schools where you get an opportunity to work anywhere you find yourself. Because Nyesom Wike has shown that capacity. I believe, and I know my wife also believes, and my friends, that Nyesom Wike has the capacity to manage the resources of Nigeria.
On his part, Secretary to the Council, Prince Nyeche, said Mr. Wanosike has transformed the area through projects and human capital development.
If you look at us, we don't have enough resources, but we have been able to harness the little resources that we have in the Ikwere local government to be doing all this. It's not as if we are getting money from elsewhere. Even the allocation is not enough. We have little IGR, but it is prudent management of resources that has kept us to this level, and that is why we want other local government to emulate Ikwere local government. We are happy with what we are doing, and we continue to do that in the interest of Ikwere people and the River State at large.
Also, leader of Ikwere Legislative Assembly, Nwabuisi Chikwetasie, said Mr. Wanosike's administration has revived the economy of the area.
Nightlife have returned to Isobo. The economy is booming. I will not bore you with so much distance. If you look at the development at Alo and the Gruta, you see that there is need to improve on the health facilities and educational facilities. Hence, the chairman has concentrated more on education and health. From inception, our Archbishop, our traditional rulers, our councillors, our opinion leaders have always been ever present in all we are doing. I think if the chairman surrounds himself or is surrounded by this sort of persons, I don't think he has reason to be a failure.
Improving security along the Emoha-Kalabari Road topped the agenda of the security meeting between Chairman of Emoha and the Chairman of 3 Kalabari local government areas of Asari-Toro, Akukutoro and Degema, held at the Akukutoro Council Secretariat. Chairman of Akukutoro local government area Roland Sekibo, while briefing journalists shortly after the meeting, said they are working with the security agencies to ensure the release of the expatriate working with Lubric Construction Company on the construction of the Trans-Kalabari Road, who was kidnapped along Emoha-Kalabari Road 2 weeks ago.
The purpose or the reason for which we gathered is just a follow-up of what we have agreed. We are sure that at the end of the day, we are coming up with a regimen that will take care of these insecurity issues, especially on the Emoha-Kalabari Road. You know, the insecurity is antithetical to development. So as council and as government, our major responsibility is the protection of life and property. So that is what we are putting together to make sure that people can freely travel on that road. People that are doing business can do their businesses. Very soon, the security outfit that will be there will take care of the insecurity on that road so that we will not record all those awkward incidents of kidnappings again on that road. We regret that incident that has happened, but we are assuring our people that sooner everybody will be happy because the man will be released.
Roland Sekibo said they also deliberated on the repair of portions of the Emoha-Kalabari Road.
Well, it is part of our agenda. We also discuss it because the deplorable stage also encourages such incidents that happen. We're also doing something about it.
Our correspondent reports that the rapporteur, Honorable Lolo Ifiemi, and secretaries of the 4 local government areas were also present. A non-governmental organization, Ogoni Liberation Initiative, has engaged over 60 youths to begin work at the site of the International Trade, Peace and Development Center at Bori in Kana local government area. The center, when completed, is expected to serve as a central point to all international investors on different products and brand with different training of international standard. President of the organization, Douglas Fabeke, charged the youths to carry out the work professionally. Dr. Fabeke, who reminded the youths that the center should be utilized by them, assured them of a better future through all their initiative for a better Ogoni. Dr. Fabeke further admonished the youths and people of Kana to join hands with the council chairman to fight against insecurity and make Kana peaceful. He called on the people to always follow up his program tagged Liberation Hour every Sunday on Wazobia FM between 7 to 7:30 p.m. for better understanding of Ogoni issues. Still ahead, protest in Edo State as government intensifies COVID vaccination. Stay tuned.
Now, it's indeed been 10 years of Nigeria Info, 10 years of educating the people, letting the people know that development doesn't come from remaining docile and doesn't come from you not participating and knowing what's happening around you. We hope to have more years ahead in which Nigerians come, not just only talk about development, but Nigerians become more active in seeing that we get a Nigeria of our dreams, we get a country that indeed we can be proud of.
Nigeria Info.
Despite the Anambra State government's directive that markets, transport business owners and banks open for business on Mondays, street markets, banks, schools, motor parks and other public offices were shut down in Onitsha in observance of a sit-at-home order already called off by IPOB. In Onitsha, Nkwele and Oka Wazobia correspondent Olayinka Owolabi, who went around town, observed that markets, schools and transport parks were all deserted, while banks and other public offices operated skeletal services. A trader who spoke to our correspondent on condition of anonymity said although the continuous sit-at-home every Monday is affecting business, activities and their sales, they had to comply due to the fear of possible attacks.
It is obvious because we're supposed not to be doing that. We cannot do otherwise because it's only God that can help us. So we are still managing to stay at home because if you refuse and come out, one thing or the other may happen to the person. And as a parent, when that day reach, you will just take your children inside. And parents also will stay inside to avoid Hadaino. And then we are praying, asking the people on authority to help us and ratify this issue because they are the people that we are looking up to so that all these problems, they are the people that will look into it and they put things in order.
Another businesswoman said the sit-at-home is for the good of the Indigbos.
This sit-at-home of a thing, it didn't cost us anything now. Like, for me particularly, I don't see anything wrong about it. But it's good for the Nigerians, for the Igbos, I mean. It is good for us, for our freedom. That is all I can say about it. It's not really affecting me, but I believe that it affects others. Like me, I'm doing my business in the streets, so I don't think it affects me.
Meanwhile, a vehicle conveying vegetables, tomatoes and other perishable foodstuff was set ablaze by unknown persons in Enugu State on Monday morning. Residents suggested that the perpetrators were enforcing the sit-at-home exercise, which has been cancelled. In the meantime, Apex Igbo Socio-Cultural Organization Ohanaeze Ndigbo has described the inability of Southeast governors to establish the Ibobiagu Regional Security Outfit 3 months after it was mooted as an embarrassment. President General of Ohanaeze Ndigbo, Professor George Obiozo, who stated this yesterday in Enugu in his message at the yearly celebration of Igbo Day, billed for September 29, stressed that it was disheartening that the Ibobiagu security outfit had not been established even in the face of rising insecurity in the southeast. Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory FCT chapter of Ohanaeze Ndigbo has barred its president and principal officers from accepting government appointments or receiving contracts during their tenure. Civil society organizations and students yesterday protested over Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration's of compulsory COVID-19 vaccination policy in Benin City. The protesters, who grounded movement around the ancient city, carried placards bearing inscriptions such as, "We need security in Edo, not vaccine. We will resist any executive rascality. Hunger is killing us, not COVID-19. Obaseki obey court order and share COVID-19 palliatives, among others. They also threatened to shut down government houses, agencies, corporate organizations, enforcing the no vaccine, no entry policy, stressing that yesterday's protest was just a warning. We're on a short commercial break now. When we return, the news continues. Stay tuned.
Now, it's indeed been 10 years of Nigeria Info, 10 years of educating the people, letting the people know that development doesn't come from remaining docile and doesn't come from not participating
in line with the determination of the administration of Samia Wanusiki to serve and deliver the dividends of democracy to the people, Engineer Wanusiki will on Monday embark on another round of project inaugurations and commissioning of 13 projects across the 13 wards in Ikwere as part of the second tenure 100 days in office. Projects to be commissioned and flagged off include September 29th, commissioning Ilili Market, October 2nd, medical outreach program in Iguruta, October 4th, flag off of 1,000 capacity town hall in Ipo, October 6th, commissioning of Omerelu Market, October 7th, flag off of Kapani Market, October 11th, commissioning of 1,000 capacity town hall in Omawa, October 13th, commissioning of 1,000 capacity town hall in Etiopo, October 15th, flag off of 14 classroom block in Ozoha Primary School, Prince Nietzsche, Chairman, Organizing Committee, and Darlington Ochi, Secretary, Organizing Committee.
Now, it's indeed been 10 years of Nigeria Info, 10 years of educating the people, letting the people know.
The three Kalabari GDI local government areas coordinators, on behalf of the GDI Kalabari Nation, hotly congratulate our leaders, Chief Fedi Alabraba, Dr. Tami Danagogo, Alabo Dax, Kelly George, and all those who died during 2019 general election in Abonima on their award as true Rivers men, an icon of New Rivers vision and defenders of democracy, respectively, by GDI Coordinators Forum under the leadership of Prince Honorable Collins Onowo on the occasion of one-day colloquium in honor of His Excellency Nyesom Ezenwa-Wike, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, at the Atlantic Hall of Hotel
Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19, PSC, is calling for more caution rather than overconfidence. This was as the federal government indicated a plan to involve the private sector in COVID-19 vaccination. Chairman of the committee, Boss Mustafa, stated this in Abuja yesterday, warning that coronavirus is still very much around and remains virulent and deadly. Mustafa said significant progress has been made in vaccines and that 3.5 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine are expected from the U.S. government this month, while about 4 million doses of AstraZeneca is expected early next month. On the foreign scene, U.S. singer R. Kelly has been found guilty of exploiting his star status to run a scheme to sexually abuse women and children over 2 decades. 11 accusers, 9 women and 2 men, took to stand over the intense 6-week trial to describe sexual humiliation and violence at his hands. After 2 days of deliberation, the jury found Kelly guilty on all charges he was facing. Sentencing is due on the 4th of May, and he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. Kelly, whose full name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, most famous for the award-winning song I Believe I Can Fly, was also found to have trafficked women between different U.S. states and produced child pornography. On the news this morning, you heard the northern governors have opposed power shift to the south. The Rivers State Executive Council has approved 25 billion naira loan request by state government to fund projects. A socio-political pressure group says lack of transparency has deprived Rivers State government from accessing grants from international agencies and federal government. The Guild of Editors says it is concerned about the high level of secrecy by government agencies. On the foreign scene, R. Kelly has been found guilty in sex trafficking trial. The news was edited by Enoho Obevere. Contact our newsroom on 0818-900-0017. For more stories, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm. Partly cloudy weather is expected in Port Harcourt this morning. My name is Ifiemi Andrew. Thank you for your time.
Start you off in the morning, keep you all day, and keep you company all night long. We are 92.3 Nigeria Info. The first talk station of the nation.
It's been 10 years of Nigeria Info, 10 years of educating the people, letting the people know that development doesn't come from remaining docile and doesn't come from you not participating and knowing what's happening around you. We hope to have more years ahead in which Nigerians come, not just only talk about development, but Nigerians become more active in seeing that we get a Nigeria of our dreams, we get a country that indeed we can be proud of.
Nigeria Info.
Now it's indeed been 10 years of Nigeria Info, 10 years of educating the people, letting the people know that development doesn't come from remaining docile and doesn't come from you not participating and knowing what's happening around you. We hope to have more years ahead in which Nigerians come, not just only talk about development, but Nigerians become more active in seeing that we get a Nigeria of our dreams, we get a country that indeed we can be proud of.
Nigeria Info.